Yeah, I mean, there's a ton of research out there. There's a lot of statistics that show that obviously the mental health experiences and mental health challenges that students are facing is increased dramatically, right? And I think one of the big things that the COVID-19 pandemic, it created a lot of isolation. And we as human beings, we are hardwired for connection with other people. And when we were forced to be isolated and for the safety issue, making sure that we were all safe during that pandemic, especially in the unknowns of COVID-19 and all that, that was hard for people because they didn't have what they needed. They didn't have that direct connection to other people. And so I think that was one of the big challenges that has lasting effects. But then also during this time, students who are in their adolescent years, like those are some of the most important years where they're establishing their identity, where they're figuring out who they are, where they're learning how to navigate different emotions, where they are changing so rapidly and so quickly. Their brains are changing so much. So to remove them and isolate them during that time, I think has had some lasting long-term impacts. On top of that, I think all of the technology out there is hard. Technology is an awesome thing. I'm using technology right now. I'm on social media. I don't think those are bad things. I just think that, especially with how much students are engaging in it, one, because that was their only way of connecting with the bigger world during the COVID-19 pandemic, right? They had access through social media, so they became reliant, dependent on it. They became addicted to it. I think that has caused some challenges because now one of the things we're talking about when we talk about mental health and the challenges people are facing, we're not just talking about these big illnesses and these big disorders, bipolar, eating disorders, manic depressive situations. That's not everything we're talking about. We're just talking about our interpersonal skills and being able to have a conversation, being able to connect and build relationships, meet new people, how to deal with challenges, how to problem solve, how to collaborate with others. Those are things that kids are struggling with because during some of their most important years of figuring out how to do that, they weren't able to because they were isolated. And so I think that has just compounded the challenges that kids naturally face with kind of growing and learning how to become people, right? We talk about social emotional learning, and really all that is what we're trying to do through SEL is we're trying to help kids become the best humans possible. And when they weren't able to have those experiences because of that isolation, we've seen the after effects of that. And then again, I think just all the media that we're getting, I I'm going to be honest, I don't want to get political here, but I just think what we see in our nation and in our world of so much conflict, and if I disagree with you, that means I hate you, and that means I have to, my job is to actually destroy you and make sure you get, lowered and lessened in the view of everyone else in society. Just that overall mindset, I think, puts a lot of pressure on people. It makes us view other people as our enemy, as someone who is against me, and I've got to now protect myself. And so it's just created all these different emotions that I think it's just hard for kids to figure out. It's hard for them to learn how to navigate all those different feelings and emotions. And we're seeing the repercussions of that in terms of some mental health challenges that we haven't seen previously.